The new game for Roblox, Hunters, is out. And let me help you understand the weapons a little bit better. So, it's very important to know what kind of weapon will help you with what. But I want you all to keep in mind that this is a personal opinion of mine, and it's also important to know which weapon works for you the best. For example, someone might prefer a sword, someone might prefer a dagger. It all depends. These are the main things that make each weapon different. Amount of damage, attack speed, and the skills. The rarer the weapon, the better. But I will assume that you already have the best rarity for each weapon. Since the rolls are free, you want to turn on auto roll and hide it. But also set up auto sell below rare when you first begin so that you can get decent items. Once you get cool items and skills, set up the auto sell to below epic so that you will get the best equipment and skills. The higher the rarity, the higher the damage. And this is more important than even your stats. Also, a fun fact, you can have 2 weapons equipped if you get the scroll for dual wielding. You can either buy it, get it in the dungeon, but I will be rating weapons individually with no dual wield in mind. The skills are what's most interesting. Every weapon has 2 skills each, so that's what decides what's the most efficient weapon, along with the attack speed and damage of each weapon. This is mostly a soloing weapon tier list. Some weapons may increase in tiers if you're like playing with a group of friends, such as the Great Sword, if you have your friends to pull aggro for you. Either way, let's rate the weapons first and then we'll rate the skills. The first weapon on the list is the Great Sword. It's a really cool weapon and it's so powerful with the biggest base damage but so slow with its attacks. And most of the time the enemies get a shot at you. You need to put the timing perfectly or your health goes bye-bye. I would personally rate it in C tier, but hopefully it can get an even better damage buff to balance things out with the other weapons. The second weapon are the daggers. They're the fastest weapon and they have cool skills that can clear out enemies pretty well, and one of the safest skills in the game is execution. It's perfect for taking out mages and damaging bosses without taking damage yourself. The perk of this weapon is basically that you can dual wield it, but you need to get the dual wielding scroll, which if you don't want to spend money, that's completely fine, but without the dual wielding scroll, the daggers aren't doing as much damage. That's why I would put them in B tier. The third weapon is the sword. Honestly, it's really in the middle. It doesn't deal as much damage as the Great Sword, but it has a decent amount of damage and decent speed. The skills are really good, but it doesn't really stand out compared to the other weapons. But for me personally, I would rank it A tier, because the slash is an AoE attack and is quite fast when dealing with enemies and bosses. And the last weapon is the staff. I personally love ranged attacks, so this one is my favorite type. You can also attack the enemies with the staff up close, but what makes this weapon insane is the 2 skill it has. The fireball skill that can hit enemies from a distance so you don't even have to get close, and the healing skill, which is perfect for when you are playing alone and the enemies are destroying your health, so you can just like move away for a bit and heal yourself right up. So for me personally, this weapon is S tier, most definitely, for solo leveling especially. But to make it even more stronger, you definitely need to invest your stats into intelligence. That's what's going to give you more damage when you're using the staff. And just like the weapons, you get skills by rolling in the game. Skills don't really have a rarity, but some skills have higher or lower damage, so you need to make sure to check which one you are equipping by clicking on them. You can equip one skill for all 4 slots, but that won't do you much since they all have the same cooldown, but you can equip multiple unique skills since they don't share a cooldown. Make sure to equip different skills. As of now, we have 2 skills for each weapon. Now let's get into the tiers of the skills. And another disclaimer, I am ranking them based on my personal opinion and you don't have to agree. Horizontal slash, it's a skill for the Great Sword. While it's great for clearing out a group of enemies, you can do that with your regular attack. And this one slash, it's really slow, so not a fan of it. That's why it goes into C tier. Sword thrust. So you basically thrust towards your enemies with your sword, dealing pretty good damage, and it's overall a mid-tier skill, not great, not terrible. Dagger Stab does a few swipes with the dagger, which is great for clearing an incoming group of enemies, but it has low AoE. You are stationary while doing it, so you are pretty exposed. I'm putting both of these into B tier because they're not bad, they're not good, just overall mid. Execution is the skill for daggers, so you basically rush towards your enemies for a swipe and back away. Best melee skill for soloing so that you can easily take out mages from a safe distance. Really great for clearing enemies that are just out of your reach. Barrage. It's a skill for the sword. You slash with your sword, causing big damage to everyone in your path. This is another boss killer skill, though I don't like it for mobs, since the casters can overrun you pretty fast. I would put these two into A tier. Overall, they go towards the better skills. Next one is Vertical Slash. It's a skill for the Great Sword, similar to Barrage but slower and a bit more powerful. It's really good for bosses and it's a really good skill, but unfortunately it is a bit tad slow, so I hope they fix it somehow in the future. I would rate it S tier, definitely because it deals insane damage. The last two skills are both skills for the staff, so heal. As it says, it heals you, and healing is always S tier to me, especially if you're in a dungeon fighting multiple waves of enemies and you are playing alone. Fireball is great for hitting enemies from a distance. They won't even reach you and it's easy clearing a dungeon. One of the best skills in game. That's why these three are definitely S tier. And with that, we come to the conclusion of this video. I honestly hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope this helps you with deciding which weapons you're gonna go for when clearing the dungeons. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and of course comment with your opinions about the weapon and skill tiers, because I want to hear all about what you guys think. And if you want to get your friends in on this, make sure to share with them, because we want to hear all the opinions out there. Until next time!